Hello, and welcome to Team 14's app design project for gc02, the Sutton Community Farm Volunteer Management app. Our client is a volunteer-based community-owned farm founded with the intention of increasing access to organically produced food, as well as providing a platform for volunteers to exercise and meet new people. The client needed a streamlined approach to volunteer management where users can register, log in, and log out on a single device. The staff also needed easy access to the data collected from these processes, which would allow them to target sponsors for funding, as well as to gain a greater understanding of the demographics of volunteering on the farm. After we first met with the client and conducted user testing, functional and non-functional requirements were established. It was seen that we must provide a platform for registering new volunteers and logging them in and out when visiting the farm. An online Google registration form already exists. Therefore, our app must include the data being produced from this. Data on volunteers should be viewable in-app, but also exportable for external use. The farm doesn't have a consistent internet access, therefore, storage of volunteer data must be local, but with the ability to back up online when an internet connection is established. The farm's volunteer demographic is incredibly varied, with a wide spectrum of experience with technology. Therefore, the user interface design must be approachable and self-explanatory, so not to intimidate less able users. To meet the requirements set out by the client, 4 different storage locations are utilized in the project's architecture. The Google form results are assimilated directly into the local database, centralizing the volunteer data. The entire local database can be backed up online at the push of a button, provided an internet connection is present. And CSV files of volunteer data can be exported to the device's external storage directory and sent on via email to the aim of destination. For the front-end technologies, the Ionic framework was used, which is built on HTML, CSS, and TypeScript. This allowed us to implement Cordova plugins such as charts.js, which produced a variety of interactive and aesthetically pleasing charts. For back-end technologies, SQLite was implemented for local storage, and MySQL was used for the online backup, hosted on a provider called Backhand. A pre-existing Google form database is also still provided to allow volunteers to register from home. Every use case is displayed in the diagram, all of which are fully implemented, leading to the outcome that the Sutton Community Farm now has a versatile volunteer management system suited for their needs. Now I will demonstrate the application, so we'll go into the register section to create a new volunteer profile. The application is locked in a landscape orientation. This is to ensure that every time a text field is being used, the maximum keyboard potential of the screen is being filled out. Not only does this give a lot more space to hit buttons, but it also gives a feeling more akin to a computer rather than the tablets that might intimidate less technologically able users and will give them a slightly more fluid experience. So there are 2 questionnaires following the registration process that we won't be covering in the tutorial in the demonstration, as this is much of the same of entering credentials and ticking boxes. But all this data is stored locally and can be viewed by the administrator. So we have a success that we've just created a user profile, and we'll go back to log them in. So the login process was designed to give a feel similar to Google search. So as you type in characters, a refined list of names pops up. There we go. So you select it, the name appears on the login bar, and a success sign comes. And then is the logout section to demonstrate that feature. And you can only log out if you've been just logged in, and you can only log in if you've been previously logged out. So that was a success. And we'll go to the admin section, accessed by an inconspicuous button in the top left corner of the homepage, to ensure that volunteer might not accidentally happen upon it. So in the visitor history, we'll see that Edward Gerard has been logged out just after they logged in, and a list of volunteers still active on the farm is also in the table. So in the top right, we have our download selections, and we get a success, which means it's downloaded to our local downloads directory. on the phone. So the registration data list, this is a list of graphs specified by the client, and each one has a bar, pie, and scatter form. They're all interactive, which means that you can get more information on the data by clicking a segment or a bar or a point on the graphs. And if we go back after this, we will see the admin app settings section, which allows the administrator to choose the global app background. So these are all images off the farm that the client desired to have as the theme, and these affect the entire app, as we see going back to the home page.